the fact that we're still on Warner's is really kind of an achievement and pretty surprising. So I guess I got to give them credit. They've kept us around. Knock on wood.
I'm just all about that real stuff, you know? Mr. Bungle were a weird band. Still a weird band.
Cool.
They weren't even on my radar until Patton's first Faith No More record, their third as a group. I dug Faith No More a lot in the late 80s, and I still do. I think all of their albums are great. Patton was an odd replacement for the late, great Chuck Mosley, but the real thing was the real deal. Angel Dust, King for a Day, Album of the Year, right up to Soul Invictus. Some of the best music ever produced, period.
This is the best part of everything.
Check out any of their reunion concerts and tell me that these guys don't do it properly. I dig Faith No More, so I dug into Bungle after hearing Angel Dust. Let's not even get into the enormous amount of work he's done elsewhere, though that Dillinger EP is noteworthy, and Lovage with Dan the Automator and Jennifer Charles is pure perfection, but let's not get into this guy's full body of work. He's best as a collaborator. Case and point, The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo. Mr. Bungle's remake of their 1986 demo was an unexpected treat in 2020. It's a filthy album performed by people in their 50s, but it sounds better than any younger band trying to ape that 80s thrash sound. They've also proven that they can do it all live without missing a beat. This group has been around since 1985, when the founding members were still in high school.
I mean, we wrote this stuff when we were 16.
Oh, no, it's great! It's great!
The licks, the riffs, man! Trey Spronce is an animal here, and I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing his name.
Well, I'm Trey Spruance.
Trey Spruance.
Trey Spruance.
Fail? Is this an epic fail? Oh, how I can't stand internet know-it-alls. Trey Spronce, S-P-R-U-A-N-C-E.
I think it's probably a good thing if computers just take over music. Because computers are a lot more messed up than people. And the more messed up and farther away music gets from music, the healthier it's going to be for music.
Trey Spruance.
I think computers could kind of take it to a new level.
It takes seconds to do a quick search and nitpick or to borrow opinions from others. Let's skim the tracks here. Grizzly Adams is an instrumental opener and the only soft moment on the entire record. It starts with some gentle, beautiful guitar harmonies before barraging the listener with pure 80s style metal. A sign of things to come. Anarchy Up Your Anus is another brief number that goes full out thrash punk, complete with call and response vocal shouts from the band, a kick to the cranium, and terrific follow-up to the intro track. So far, so good. Excellent production, crisp and clear, awesome sequencing, a special shout out to Rhea Perlman's voice that adds some nuance in the beginning. Who doesn't love Perlman? No solos yet though.
Spruance
is holding back, but the guitar licks are catchy as all hell. Things are building to the full-out onslaught. Raping Your Mind was the teaser single for this reconstruction of Mr. Bungle's first demo, and is just insane. The way the guitars work together is remarkable. The separation is brilliant, so it's always easy to tell who's playing, and Trevor Dunn anchors everything exceptionally well.
There's mistakes, you know. There are parts on that tape where like the drummer made a mistake, so we just had Mike like scream over the top of it, you know.
Patton goes full throttle, as does Lombardo. I commend the singer for not making this an ego project. He leaves so much space in between vocal lines, allowing the band their moments to shine. On the vinyl, his vocals are a bit lower than the CD and digital versions, which definitely makes it my preference. This might be a controversial opinion, but I kind of have a soft spot for the demo takes, as he sounds a lot more like Chuck from Death, but that's in no way a slight to his delivery here. It's creatively Bungle, and Patton has grown over the years, but sometimes with this thing, I feel like I'm listening to System of a Down, who were clearly inspired by the man, but yeah, I think you catch my drift. Again, not really a criticism, more of a preference thing. Raping Your Mind is simply superb, with flashy, articulate solos and hooks. Hypocrites is the fourth reworked song from that first demo in a row, with elements of Stormtroopers of Death's Speak English or Die incorporated into the midsection, a band Scott Ian was in back in the 80s. Here, it has been retitled Speak Spanish or Die, and well, okay, look, so I appreciate the guitarist, especially after hearing him play live with these songs, but I've got to admit to not being a big fan of any of the bands he's been involved with. This track has the driving riff of Hypocrites with a cheesy center that turns me off. When they go into La Cucaracha, I groan every time. Though some might consider this one of the few moments where they actually sound like those Warner Brothers Bungle records, so your mileage may vary. Personally, I think the entire song could have been left off the record. They already cut the majority of Evil Satan, which was present on the original demo, and I think the entire album would have flowed better without it. This is the only song I always skip unless I'm hunkering down listening on vinyl. Let's move on to the two following tracks that simply kick all sorts of ass. Bungle Grind is a playfully predictable tour de force that starts out blisteringly quick before a thick, weighty doom section. An incredible accomplishment that highlights the rhythm team. Both this and its successor, Mathematics, are really tough to talk about because they're all over the place. Solid, progressive, surprising, and brutal, with tons of punkish background shouts by the band. I'm pretty sure Mathematics has the most riffs of any metal song outside of maybe the progressive category. Props to Scott Ian for being able to learn and play this live.
Hey, I got arthritis for this band. Right here, this joint.
Bungle arthritis?
Bungle arthritis. Right in this joint on this finger. When I was learning all this stuff late last year, 4 months learning.
There's a part in Mathematics where it morphs into an almost Public Enemy sounding diss section. I love it. Pure, fun, old school 80s thrash at its finest. Erasist is a single in every sense of the word. Interesting video, corny lyrics that seem like they're supposed to mean something. It's brief, catchy, and well placed on the album after the double team curb stomping licks of Bungle Grind and Mathematics. This one gives me some serious Tomahawk vibes. It's almost too catchy for this band, but there's a radical shift in the middle that makes it well worth the time, and those rolling drums kick all sorts of ass. Check out the video, it's awesome. Props to the production team and band for the excellent sequencing all around on this record. I just wish I could see their names. Who is responsible for designing this text on the sleeve? Spreading the Thighs of Death was easily my favorite tune from the original demo, but it took a while for it to grow on me here on the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo. That's right, the demo is the demo, but the official release is titled The Demo. It's my second favorite on the record now that I've pulled my head out of my ass. Patton's vocal delivery has grown on me here, mainly for the way he screams, "Die." Don't take this video down, YouTube bots, you fucking maggots. Similarly to the amazing Mathematics, it hits all of my pleasure centers, but feels a bit nimbler, say that 3 times fast, with a very good progression. Loss for Words, an early Corrosion of Conformity track, flows seamlessly from Spreading the Thighs of Satan, and I've gotta say, I prefer it over the original. I'm also a huge fan of COC's work up to and including Wise Blood. This is clearly the Patton-centric piece. He's all over the goddamn place, and it's just incredible to hear him let loose this late on the record. Dunn's bass is extra punchy, Lombardo is a machine, Glutton for Punishment follows, and it's okay, it's fine, it's consistent. I'm happy it's here, but it's also the only track I feel agnostic about. A bit unmemorable for me, but still better than the majority of drivel most bands can produce nowadays. It's also sandwiched between 2 of the best songs on the album. A good buffer, excellently placed, a warm-up for what is possibly my favorite metal song of the past decade. Sudden Death is... The lyrics aren't scatological or weird like a lot of the others on the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo, but hey, it's Bungle and they wrote these pieces back in the 80s, so I'm hardly complaining. This song is something special though, with punchy, relevant lyrics that are perhaps more impactful now than ever. A slow build, gloriously uncomfortable time changes, very early Slayer in how it's performed. I can't say enough good things about it. The poignant, off-brand video is a work of art. war, death, an actual message that culminates in a call and response finale that honestly makes me well up a bit. This has been a pretty jokey review so far, where I've taken the piss out of everything, but whenever I put this song on, I get chills. It makes me walk or jog a little faster, lift a little heavier while working out, but it also gives me a heavy feeling in my chest. I want to put my fists up and angrily sing along to the lyrics. If this was the only thing Mr. Bungle decided to redo from their 1986 demo, I'd have been satisfied. As someone perversely obsessed with war and what we do to each other on a daily basis, it hits home. An odd note to go out on, both for this album as well as this review. Mr. Bungle's The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo is a thrash metal masterpiece that I still can't stop listening to. Right, so the vinyl itself. A true bargain when I purchased this from Ipecac the week it was released. 2 records, a great pressing that has a relatively quieter sound than the digital and CD versions, specifically in the vocals, which I mentioned earlier. There aren't a lot of extras or flair when it comes to the packaging, but the vinyl itself is quality. The cover is fine, but the sleeves are a bit cheaply produced and tend to fray. Still, for the price, I'm not disappointed. There are a few special edition versions out there with different textures as well. I've never been let down with any of Ipecac's records. I've purchased a wide range of them from their online store, and they're always great. Follow them on YouTube, something I don't say a lot these days. Quick delivery, fair prices, and just a great company all around as far as I'm concerned. Patton and company have done a magnificent job keeping it all about the music. It's clear they care about the artists as well as the consumers. Hell, the legendary Melvins are signed on with them, and we all know King Buzzo would have something to say if they were crooks. Now, to whomever got the obviously placed code in this video, enjoy. Support the band another way if you can. I'll try to offer more out in the future. I have them stacked in a variety of different places throughout the house, as I'm a bit of an audio snob and really have no use for them. Next time on this channel, video games. So stay tuned.
I mean, you can hear it on the tape, but now we're all like struggling to be able to even do any of that shit. So, you know, yeah, we went a little fucking haywire.
Trace Bruins.